To be a successful YouTuber versus being a successful investor are two completely different things. And I want to thank Echoes from Above for making this video right here. Wall Street Journal tells the truth about me, Kevin. It's very interesting, actually, you guys. You should have a listen to this 16-minute podcast that was done by Wall Street Journal. I mean, a very reputable organization. And so the title is, As the Stock Market Tumbles, So Does a YouTuber's Influence. Kevin Pafrak is a social media influencer who dishes out financial advice on multiple platforms. He cashed in on young people's hunger for investment tips from non-traditional sources. But as Wall Street Journal's Robbie Whelan explains, Pafrak's followers became fickle when his advice turned cautious. So when I made some videos about Kevin, there was some people dissatisfied with what I said, and they said certain things like, well, do you have a $22 million portfolio? And so in this podcast, they confirmed that Kevin's $22 million portfolio, how did he make it? And you see, it's important because if you want to learn how to play basketball, are you going to learn how to play basketball from a journalist that talks about basketball, or are you going to learn it from somebody that actually played basketball, right? If you want to learn how to dance, are you going to learn to dance from somebody who's a dancer or from somebody that talks about dancing? So in this case, Kevin made his money, and this is a fact. He made his money from YouTube, from ad revenue, from sponsorships, and from courses. That's how he made his money. So is this a good idea to listen to him about how to make money investing? He hasn't made money investing. He has made money talking about investing. You see, I also make money from certain sources. I make money when I write books about investing. But how much is this in relation to what I made from investing? I don't know. Maybe 1%? Most of the money that I made is from investing. Yeah, I made a little bit from books, but that's like $10,000 a year maybe. Yeah, I make some money from microcap explosions, but that doesn't even come close to what I made from investing. Now, it's important because is this who you want to follow for investment tips? I don't know. It's up to you. And another thing that was interesting from this podcast was that if you want to grow your YouTube channel, you should do exactly what Kevin has done. In other words, you want to talk about things that people want to listen to. You want to give them sugar because that's what they crave. So when he started off his YouTube channel, he was talking about real estate. And then when the AMC craze and GameStop craze came about, guess what he did? He started talking about it. And then when the growth stocks, he jumped on that and he started talking about it. So in other words, he was literally looking for things that are trending in order to talk about it to get views. And it was very successful. And you see, most of the time, if you follow the crowd, if you follow what's popular, I mean, that's what newspapers do, right? They just talk about what's popular, talk about what's trending. I mean, you turn on CNBC and that's exactly what they talk about. But when you do what everybody else is doing, usually it doesn't turn out that well. So he talked about AMC and all these meme stocks. That didn't turn out well from the point of view of investing, right? It turned out very well for him, but not from the point of view of investing. Then you talk about these Cathy Wood stocks. Well, that gave you sugar. That, made you feel good for the short term, and then it destroyed you. Now, what is he talking about now? He's talking about recession, depression, housing crash, right? So, do you think that's going to turn out great if you follow again what people are saying? In other words, recession is down the corner, or housing is going to crash, therefore you need to do A, B, C, D, right? Well, we'll find out how this turns out, but for sure, it's going to turn out well for him. And then this thing also talks about how it's all about gaining and not losing subscribers for him, because his brand is YouTube. If he loses subscribers, he uses ad revenue. He loses sponsorships. So that's what, his entire brand is about. It's about YouTube. And you have to keep listening to him in order for him to keep making money. So it makes a total sense right now. Why is he offering that 20-minute coaching session, which, by the way, I paid for and is scheduled for June 8th. We'll see if it ever happens, if he cancels. But it makes total sense because his world is crumbling and he's looking for new revenue streams. And the 20-minute coaching session is just, one of the ways to, keep making money from YouTube. And then final thing that I want to bring out from this podcast is that, can you believe it, that he actually was going to buy a corporate jet? So he put down $300,000 to buy a jet, okay? And then he lost that $300,000 deposit because, obviously his world, started to fall apart. But anyway, so have a listen to this piece. It's in the description below. And just be aware of who you follow, who you listen to. How do they make their money? I remember in early 2000s when the books came out, Poor Dad, Rich Dad on real estate. The guy, probably invested in some real estate, but he made his money from writing books and selling courses about real estate investing. Meet Kevin is just another version of it that makes his money from courses, YouTube ad revenue, YouTube sponsorships, talking about what you want to hear, talking about and giving you sugar. What is popular, he will talk about it. It doesn't matter. If growth stocks are in fashion, he'll talk about this. If AMC is in fashion, he'll talk about this. If recession is in fashion, he'll talk about it. If microcap stocks are, or small cap are in fashion, he will talk about it. He will talk about whatever gives you sugar because he needs you to watch him. He needs you to waste your time listening to him so that he can get ad revenue, sponsorships, and you need to buy his courses. It doesn't matter if AMC, if you look at it fundamentally, if AMC, one movie theater, is selling for $30 or $60 million, it doesn't matter. He will talk about whatever you want to hear. Whatever sugar you want to have, he will deliver. That's what makes a successful financial YouTuber. Unfortunately, this doesn't work out very well if you actually follow those tips or advice. You go with the crowd, most likely you're going to get crushed. If you want to make real money, you have to think independently. You have to go most of the time in places where you have very little competition. Low competition means low prices most of the time. Thanks for watching.